go.
Have a remote control for it?
God no. It hasn't even got a working battery.
Oh, isn't it?
No.
Yeah. That's the thing is, yeah, so I've got a digital camera somewhere. You just don't use them anymore. It's your phone. It's just sort of like...
It's so old, the battery doesn't charge, so I've got to plug it in.
Yeah, you'll find, it's lithium or whatever. Or
Yeah, lithium, Lithuanian, who knows?
There are lots of modern stuff you get nowadays. You can't even take the battery out of them. So you know when you get the...
Well, I can with this one.
Yeah. So yeah, that'd be like a tiny little slide-in cell.
Yeah. I did look online to see if I could get a spare one, but I couldn't. But it's old. It's probably, you know, I should be a bit more professional about the whole thing and actually get a decent camera. One with a sound boom and all that.
Well, you need to put the sound at the front, don't you? Rather than trying to record it at the back. Because down here, what you're going to get is fucking machines. They keep clicking in every once in a while, I told him.
It's a shame.
It's fine. So look at his first one, he's filming from there. Rather than, because here you're just going to get Super Mario Kart playing in the background. And that one keeps kicking in. So all I'm hearing is this and this. I can hear you them speaking, but your camera is just going to pick this up.
I have to turn it on. The heat. Oh, that's brilliant. This man's a hero. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I probably should turn off their power anyway.
Well,
I ain't got answer it.
No. It was because they're quite loud.
Yeah. They're old machines though, they probably won't come back on.
Can you imagine? I am indeed.
A friend of mine does. Friends of mine do stand-up poetry and things like that. And my mate tried to do it once, but he went on and he had a few drinks beforehand. It's the worst thing I've ever done.
Because I'm a bit bored, so I can't drink. I just don't fancy it. Usually I do have a drink. I'm a sober suggestion.
So he got so much.
That's why I pay on for beer. Usually I have two. I did a gig last night. I probably could have. Do you want one? Do you want a beer? Yeah, go on. Just a half. Half of what? Vodka? No. A lager would be great.
Right, so we need this clear, I'll move the chair back.
You can just stay where you want, mate.
Music for you.
No. I'll do with some music now. I told you, man.
Ci robi warzywka, gotuje, no co nie na
Idzie tam, tak?
Kochani,
Podłączyć się do takiego aparatu.
Ale jak to jest? Cudowne!
Zawsze możesz sobie, wiesz, wysypać na pewno. Jak wróciłeś się od siebie.
No ja go. Ale to jest Polska. Halo, halo. Żadny.
Na Kubę! Co nie? To co sobie myślałem? Bardziej uwierzą niż ja, kawa. Gdzie? Ja bym myślał.
Oh, you're banging Jim! You're banging Jim! Jest taki sketch w ogóle dla komentarzy. Musimy to obejrzeć, koleś jest niesamowity tutaj. You're banging Jim, man. What? I'm banging Jim! Ja bardzo lubię ja bardzo lubię Russell Howard Friday Show. Tamten piątek był taki niesamowity. Ja po prostu, ja byłam ze śmiechu, ja dopadłam z kanału ze śmiechu. To pojechałam po nas. Czasami jest śmieszne, bo jego jest
Ladies and gents, we'll be back in 2 minutes, so just grab your drinks and then get yourself sat down. We're going to start again in 2 minutes for your headline act.
I can smell that shit. I was like, oh, little baby.
I don't know.
Feed her well. Yeah, feed her well.
We've been told that you
I did say.
keep an eye on vitamins.
I did say to her, when push comes to shove, you can always just open up the little tail, drop it out, you do a line, you know? B12, baby, go, 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 magnesium citrate, magnesium citrate.
I don't know what you drink, go viral.
Again, I found a little bit, it lost it a little bit, but then kind of,
You happy? Are you scared? A little? She was like, only 7 months left. I was like, yeah, fine.
I don't know what you're going to say, and you kind of
That's how we can help.
One favour, so I'm filming that. You just sort of make sure that.
Alex, feeling around for the vitamins.
There we go. Just make sure you're not sat in the way.
yeah. So this one, there's no, I'll stand over here, I think. There's one here, there's not. Yeah, no problem. No, there's one here that no one's sat. Yeah, no, not a problem. I think I'll stand up anyway. Yeah. I enjoyed. I kind of enjoyed it a lot more than yeah, no, I felt a struggle a bit. Obviously,
Yes, fine. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. I've seen it all.
yes.
Oh, he must be really crying.
Oh yeah, they cry a lot. Cry a lot. Just again, cry a lot.
they're cool on. My worst nightmare is when they start learning to walk. I would not keep my eyes on them. I probably think I'm responsible now to be let down. I've seen them before, I just they're very, they're soft bones, you know, they're just really yeah, but within the reason, like a drunk person is very flexible yeah, but still, I find that's why I remember my brother when he was growing up, and I was very started walking, and I was just taking care of him, and I was like, oh my god, we just
Take this seat. And then you can, you have to move out of the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Take your seat over there because I don't mind standing. Oh, you sure? Yeah, you just been performing, and this is where the comedians are supposed to.
Not a problem. I feel bad because you pay money, so that's
No, it's fine. You might want to. You're nearly on his tripod. Don't want to go on his tripod.
we've got to leave some room for this. We've got to keep it clear.
Still trying to get you a beer, isn't he?
Yes, we've got a new front row. This is exciting. We got rid of Malcolm. These guys didn't even know what they were walking into. We've got, what's your name, fella? I'm going to guess Gandalf. Paul, nice to meet you, Paul. What did you think you were doing, Paul? Roll the dice, walk in, and you ended up in the front row of a comedy show on a Friday night. Fair play you, Paul. Well done. Who's the gang, Paul? Gary and Soham, where the murders happened. It's a safe space, it's a safe space, it's alright, it's alright. Nice to meet you. How do you guys all know each other? Randomly? Now, you said that very detailed. It was like, that was basically a fucking disclaimer. That was like, randomly, I don't really know them. Just, okay, and this is the end of a beautiful relationship, is it? I don't think it is. Well, you've got Jordan at the end of your row as well. Meet Jordan. Jordan's looking for friends. So you'll be all right. He can be part of your gang now, Paul. You can take him under your wing, work your spells. It will be all right. It will be absolutely fine. No, you guys have been very nice. It's been lovely. Your next night, I'm supposed to say, your next night here is the 18th of November. You've got a cracking headline act, Ricky Balshaw, who is absolutely flying on the comedy circuit at the moment. Get your tickets early for that, because it will sell out. It'll be very busy, much like this. We'll have a good time. No, it's been nice. Thank you so much for having us down. Just before we get your headline act on, I'll tell you a little bit. I was telling you about working in a school, right? And I've been trying to write new material about working in a school, and it's really difficult. It's really difficult to work out what you can say, what you can't say, all that kind of stuff. I realised a better thing to do would be just to report back verbatim conversations that have actually happened in my classroom, because they are batshit mental. Right? I'll give you an example. This happened the other day. The lad's hand went up at the back of my class. I went, "Yes, Jacob." He went, "Oh, sorry, sir. I thought you were going to ask a question." I said, "All right, what did you think I was going to ask?" We were doing World War II. He went, "I thought you were going to ask why they bombed the towns and the cities and not the villages." I went, "All right, why was that?" He went, "What?" I said, "Why did they bomb the towns and the cities and not the villages, Jacob?" He went, "I don't know." So you put your hand up, Jacob, to answer a question that I hadn't even asked, and you didn't know the answer. He went, "What?" I said, "Don't worry about it, Jacob. The reason they bomb the towns and the cities and not the villages is because the towns and the cities are far more populous. There's more people, there's more buildings. You'll do far more damage if you drop a bomb on the town or the city than you will if you drop it on the village." He went, "Yeah, I know." "Well, if you knew that, Jacob, why didn't you say so?" He said, "Because you never asked the question." Dickhead, right? Absolute dickhead. Did you, Jordan, did you ever go to school? Did you ever, I think I know the answer to this, but did you ever not do your homework when you were at school, Jordan?
What do you think?
I think you definitely did your homework. Yeah, you did. You fucking loser, Jordan. No, it's a safe space, it's a safe space, Jordan, I'm sorry, I love you, Jordan, we're best friends, it's okay. Mike, ever not do your homework? I fucking knew it, Mike never did his homework. Did you ever have good excuses for not doing your homework, Mike? No. No. All the ordinary stuff like my dog ate it, all that kind of stuff. Right, I had this the other day, genuine conversation. This is why I don't need to write comedy anymore. I said to a lad, not bloke, that would be weird, wouldn't it? That would be very strange. I said to a lad in my class, "Why have you not done your homework?" He said, "I don't go to this school anymore." I've left. I was like, "You haven't left, unless I'm very much mistaken. We're having this conversation right now. Give me your planner. I'm going to write in it you didn't do your homework." He went, "Please don't do that." I said, "Why not?" He said, "I don't want my new school to know that I don't do my homework." Anyway, he doesn't go to my school anymore. My dog ate him. They're not all bad. They're not all bad. I need to just tell you this before, like, they're not all bad. Some of these kids, one of them is lovely. There was this we were doing a speaking and listening task, right, about what they'd done during the holidays, and this lad, love him, had spent his entire holidays with his mum volunteering at the local soup kitchen. What a wonderful thing, what a lovely thing to do, right? And he wanted to talk about that, but sometimes when you're public speaking, I know myself, it's hard, you forget what you were going to say. And I watched that happen to this little lad. The word soup kitchen just left his brain completely, right? And I watched him floundering around trying to think of anything soup related that he could say that would get him back on track. And eventually he panicked and he just went, "I spent the holidays helping out at the local brothel with my mum." Listen, you guys have been wonderful all night. You have got one more cracking act, your headline act. It's Demetrius Deach. Jordan, are you ready for your final act? Are you going to start off the applause and spread it around the room as you have been doing beautifully all night, Jordan? Wonderful. So Jordan, start off the applause, spread it around the room. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Demetrius Deach.
Thank you very much. Thank you, whoop-de-doo. And thank you very much to Mark, did a brilliant job tonight. And Joanna, she was on earlier, she organised it. She phoned me up. About a month ago to do this gig on a landline. That's how desperate she was. And she said, Dimitri, we've been following your comedy career for some time and we want to get you to do Smokey Joe's. I said, that's good. She said, we've been watching your YouTube videos and everything and you're ready for your next big gig to take you to the next level. What are you doing on the 28th of October? And have you heard of Smokey Joe's? I said, I'm excited already. There's a few things I want though if I'm going to do this gig. I want the front row to change every section. That's really important.
Cheers, buddy.
I definitely want arcade machines at the back of the room making more noise than anyone else. I want a spotlight, but not pointing towards a stage, no. That'll make life way too easy. And I want more distractions than you can possibly imagine in a comedy night. Because comedy's important. And do you know what's really important in comedy? Knowing that you're in a comedy night. But thank you very much for coming. It's kind of weird that now I've got like a front row, which is like the Dragon's Den or something like that. I don't even know what I'm pitching for. For all you know, you have come into the weirdest Dragon's Den audition or something like that. Are you a millionaire? He is, by the way. You have no idea what's going on, which is brilliant. I don't know what I'm going to pitch. A sort of a Pelican Crossing sign in a room, which is kind of weird. But it's good. No, this is fun. This is exciting. I was at the bar earlier on. Someone said, "Are you one of the comedians?" I said, "Yes. I've got business cards and everything. Got them printed out at a service station." He said, "Are you any good?" I said, "Am I any good? I guess I'm good enough for Cheltenham on a Friday night." Well, I'm from round here as well. It's great. Who's from Cheltenham? Give me a cheer. Who's not? It's great. Because I'll tell you what, my favourite thing about Cheltenham is the statue in the promenade of the Minotaur and the rabbit and the penis. Because it's the only statue where you will get a little child of about 3 years old saying, "Daddy, I want to go rub the penis." But he said, this is the weird, he said, "Are you famous?" Well, that's very much a question which answers itself, by the way, if you have to answer that. But just to let you know, it was filmed earlier this year, and it'll be shown in January next year. You will see me on live at the Apollo, ladies and gentlemen. I was sat in the third row, the camera went over my head. I saw my ear, it caught my ear. It had a great gig. I'll tell you what I've done today. Fuck all! I've done nothing today. I just watched TV. That's all I've done. Pretty much. What's your favourite thing to watch on afternoon TV? You don't know. Do you know what mine is? The Chase. I bloody love The Chase. It's my favourite thing. I love the format of the show. I like the nicknames that the Chasers have. Because they're clearly taken from sex toys. You could be in an Ann Summers and there'd be somebody there saying, "I'll have a governess, a Cinnamon and 2 Dark Destroyers, please." You seem a nice group of people. Let's see what we've got here. Have we got any vegans in? Give me a cheer. I've got nothing against vegans. I've got nothing against vegans. Most of my friends are turning vegan because they weren't getting enough attention as vegetarians. I should be vegan though. I should be a vegetarian because I believe that meat is murder. I was brought up in the 80s with the music of Morrissey, so I believe that meat is murder. But meat is tasty. You see a little lamb and it's cute. I'd eat it. A West Highland Terrier dog could come in here, I'd bite its leg. I'm a Greek man. A Greek man will put anything in his mouth. It's no excuse though, meat is murder. It's no excuse. It's no excuse at all. I'm against blood sports anyway, and I get that ethos from my granddad because he always used to say, if you shoot it, you should at least eat it, which really slowed his battalion down on D-Day. Some of those friendly fire incidents were just embarrassing. May I congratulate you on the very confident way that you're wearing your pullover there. That's fun. Well, honestly, just over your shoulders, like that's confidence. That's the uniform of a wealthy man, isn't it? To have the pullover over the shoulders. It's like, I don't want my sleeves warm. No, sleeves rolled up. No, I want to just sort of have warm shoulders and everything else, having it hanging there like a cravat. It's convenient, you're there, you're ready for action, you're ready. If you want to get warm, you can put it on, you can strut around, looking confident. Can he cook lamb? I don't know, can you cook a lamb? Can you kill a lamb? What can you do with a lamb? Would you fuck a lamb? What would you do with a lamb? You're a vegetarian, he's a vegetarian! Why are you hurting his feelings? He's just come out, why have you come out again? You don't even know why he's come out. He's come out for falafel. I don't know why. What's your favourite vegetarian food? Pizza. A vegetarian. He's come out for bread. And you're torturing him with the thought of cooking a lamb. We'll get you there, buddy. This is what happened, right? You've just come out randomly. But do you know what my wife does? She organises things, and she'll come up to me and she'll say, "We're going to go out with Tina next week." Because she's got a new boyfriend and you're really going to get on with him, and I'm trying to explain that I'm busy that night, we can't, and then she says, but I haven't told you when yet. So I'm always in the doghouse. I'm actually totally in the doghouse at the moment because I've shrunk her favourite mohair sweater. Yeah, I tried to do a good deed. I thought I'd wash it, so I found the washing machine. It was in the kitchen, he would have known. And I opened the door and took the lamb out, and it was smaller. And I put it in my head, I shut the door, and there's a dial, Jordan, there's a dial on these things, and I thought, well, the higher numbers are the better, so I went to 90. And it came out, and it was shrunk, completely shrunk. I thought, she might not notice, she put it on. About a week later, she tried it on, and it was tight, obviously. And she said, what has happened here? And you've always got to be honest in these situations. So, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I think you're putting on weight. So I'm totally in the doghouse. In a lot of trouble. I'm also aware that I'm currently dressed up like somebody who does karaoke. But takes it too seriously. If you're going to order a shirt off the internet, it's probably not from Savile Row if Savile Row is spelt incorrectly. It turned out it was from China, where the threshold for shiny polyester is much higher than ourselves. But you are a good group of people. This is good fun. I like it. There's a difference of ages. There's difference. It's a good split. I think we're about 50-50 of men and women. And I'm jealous of women, and I'll tell you why. Because women look out for one another. You protect each other. You've got each other's backs in a way that us men don't do. We stitch each other up. We give each other nicknames. You'll go into a bar and you'll see a group of lads. They'll all have a nickname. Big Phil, Big Dave, Big Bob. Girls don't do that. Then I go meet my friend, Fat Jackie. It would be Jolly Jackie. I wish I was a woman. I do, I wish I was a woman. People say to me, in which case, Dimitri, maybe you could be gender fluid. Just to explain what that is, I'm sure most people know, is when you can't decide what gender, what sex you want to be. One day you might wake up and decide you want to be a woman, the next day you wake up and decide you want to be a man. It's perfectly fine, it's 2022, live and live, that's what I say. But I'll be honest with you, if you can't make a decision about something, you're a woman. Now I know how that joke goes down, don't worry. I'm not an idiot. That will split a room. Half the room will like it, the other half can't decide. It's got to be a lot of advantages of being a woman anyway. So, it is. So, and because what we do, we stitch each other up. I used to live in a shared house, 5 guys living together, and we used to do was stitch each other up with practical jokes. It's when I was at university. And we used to, one of our favourite practical jokes was when Tic Tacs brought out a brand new flavour of Tic Tac, and it was blue, and it was for people with bad breath. It was extra strong mint. And because it was blue, it looked very similar to a Viagra tablet. I don't know why I pointed at you there. I have no idea. But cross your legs. Now, so we thought it would be hilarious if we replaced our friend's stash of Viagra, one of the housemates who used to take Viagra, because he was told, he used to say that he could get an erection for 12 hours with this thing, as if any woman wants 11 and a half hours of boredom. So he would go out on a date with his girlfriend, come prancing back into the house with this brazen, cocky look on his face, go to what he thought was his secret stash of Viagra, and he thought in about 15 minutes' time after taking one, he thought he'd end up with a penis with the rigidity of a handle on a frying pan. From John Lewis. And we knew in about a quarter of an hour he may as well be trying to play snooker with a length of rope. It's the funniest thing you could do. Then we thought about that. We thought, actually, what would be even better? You see, we had another housemate who liked Tic Tacs. He had an erection for 18 months. He couldn't get rid of it. He was walking around with this thing, knocking things over. Couldn't work out why he liked Tic Tac so much all of a sudden. This thing ruined his life. He lost his job as a lifeguard at the kids' pool. And you'd think, having something like this, all the girls would have been interested in him, but he couldn't get a girlfriend, he couldn't get a date, his breath stunk. That's what men do. That is what men do. But that was a while ago now. I'm married now. I have a till death us do part thing. It says it on the contract. Well, I don't even know what it said on the contract. It was a Greek wedding. No one had a clue what was going on. Even the priest. I went to the priest. I said, "What was all that about?" Because I don't know. For all I know, I was signed up to an EE contract for 2 years. But there we go. She organised the wedding. My job was to organise the honeymoon. That's why I had to organise the honeymoon. So I went to the travel agent with £150, and she said, "You might need a bit more than that." So I said, "Okay, here's 300. We'll both go." And I'll tell you where we went for honeymoon. Bangkok. There's one thing I know about Bangkok. It turns out it's the sex tourism capital of the world. This is where we're going on our honeymoon. We get married, we fly over. All there is on the plane, because it's not a myth, all there is on the plane, it is just middle-aged men there to buy a wife. I'm there with my wife, the only one with a wife. I'm getting off the plane. They're completely confused at customs. They charged me corkage. And we're walking around Bangkok. So I thought I'd have one of these Thai massages that everyone talks about. So I went in, and they're full on as well. They're completely full on. It's like the woman, she starts like stripping off. I'm like, no, I'm married. I showed her my ring. She showed me hers. So I took my clothes off and put a towel over me. She came back in the room. I took the towel off, showed her my willy. She showed me hers. Now, the more observant of you there will notice that my wedding ring there is on the fourth finger of my right hand. That's a Greek thing, actually. I know for most places in England it's on the fourth finger of your left hand. Unless you're from the Forest of Dean, where it's on the sixth finger of your middle foot. Do you know what? I'm not even going to mess around with it. I did a gig in Cinderford in the Forest of Dean, and I chat to people, and I was chatting. There was a couple on the front row. I said, "Are you a couple?" And it turned out that they'd separated, they'd split up 2 weeks earlier. But because they'd bought tickets to the comedy night on Groupon, they thought they'd still come along. They did say that even though they'd separated, they would remain cousins. So, so we got back. We got married. We got back, and then we decided we thought we would try and have children, but it wasn't easy because there's an age issue. Because I'm in my 40s, and my wife's 82. So. Who else is in their 40s? Give me a cheer if you're in your 40s. Hey. Let's see the youngsters are. If you're in your 20s, give me a cheer. Yeah. In your 30s. 40s we've had. 50s. 60s. 70s.
Why not?
80s. 90s. So I'm in my 40s, and then we were struggling to conceive. So we went to see our doctor, went to see our GP, asked very personal questions. How often do you two have sex? She said 3 times a week. I said once every other month. Now, obviously, I had an idea what you need to do to conceive. Obviously, I had an idea. I knew that once within the month, the woman oscillates or something. And you never know when the oscillation will occur. It's a mystery. You don't know. It's a bit of guesswork. You can help the woman can wee on a stick and plug it into a laptop, update her Instagram account. And I had to do a test. I had to go to my hospital and do a test. I had to give a semen sample. So my doctor, he gave me a cup with my name on it and a lid, and he said, what you need to do is fill this up. We'd not fill it up, but go to the hospital. So I went there, went to the hospital, and I was waiting there, and a nurse comes in and then shows me to this tiny little room. And all there is in this room is a sink, a huge mirror, as if that's what you want to look at yourself, with a sweaty handprint at the top, and a little plastic chair, which was still warm from the man before. And then I'm left with a dilemma of how far down do I take my pants and trousers? Do I go mid-thigh, knee, ankle? Do I take them off and hang them on the hook? Will that make me a slut? So I have to do this. And then there's a bright light hanging there. There's a bright light. This is a weird environment to do this. And I'm trying to get myself going. And I can hear people walking past. And I can hear actual conversations going on outside. So I shut the door. I put the cup down. And I've got to get myself going. In this situation, I didn't know if the nurse was going to still be waiting outside, leaning on the door. I didn't know how long this was going to take. Luckily, I'd watched Countdown, so I was in luck. And I then get to the point of no return. There were just seconds left. Nothing was going to stop what was about to happen. And then I looked down and I suddenly realised I hadn't taken the lid off the jar. I had to thumb it open with one hand. With just seconds left, the lid knocks on the floor. And then there's an issue. There's a gravitational issue. Everything's pointing up. They don't give you a funnel. They don't give you instruction to hold it in your mouth and let things flow like a fountain at the Bellagio in Las Vegas. I get the contents into the jar. I'm pleased with this. I get the lid on. I jump up. I high-five that mirror. I then get the results a week later from my doctor. Everything is fine with that. And he says, there's just one more test I want to do. He wants to do a testicle exam. That's the funny. Everything was fine with the results. Everything was fine. Also with my wife, she didn't have a printer jam or anything. So I went behind the curtain to strip. And then I'd never been naked in front of another man before. Never. And so I was then quite nervous at this situation, and my penis went to the smallest possible size it could go. Have you ever tried to pull it bigger? It doesn't, it just looks like spaghetti. Swinging it around, lasso. Centrifugal force might come into action. May get bigger. And he comes around and he starts to check. In that situation, where do you look? Do you look him in the eye? Do you look out the window? Do you look on his desk with a picture of his son? And And time stands still in that situation. I'm looking down and he's looking up and he said, don't worry, Dimitri, it's perfectly normal during this procedure to get an erection. I said, but I haven't got an erection. He said, no, but I have. That's just a joke. That's just a joke. That's not, that didn't happen. That bit didn't happen. Well, it happened when we were in the post office. And the advice he gave, actually, he said, just relax when you have sex. Don't put any pressure on yourselves. Okay? He said, listen to this. He said, try different positions. I went, no. I said, apparently we've got to try different positions. Forget missionary. We've got to try doggy fashion. Or the butterfly. Or the cowgirl. Or the reverse cowgirl. Or the rifleman, or the countryman. The Pegasus 2000, the Unicorn 360. The three-man ranger. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Those are just caravans I saw on the M5. But we had help, and I did 4.5 years ago. I had a little daughter. She's called Eleni, which is a Greek name. It means bankrupt. And I'm the stay-at-home dad. I'm the one who takes her out to all like the coffee mornings and things like that. Are there any other parents of young children in? No, this is the village of the damned. We ate them all. We ate all the children. You're the only one. They were delicious. You don't eat children, do you? That's not vegetarian. You don't eat animals, but you eat toddlers. That's honestly, it's not. So I go to all the coffee mornings. It's really competitive, so competitive. They're all there, and they're all like, oh yes, I'm teaching my child to be bilingual, and I do that. I'm learning Greek, so I can teach my daughter Greek. It's very difficult. There's sort of a lot of sounds in Greek which don't exist in English, and it works the other way around because there's sounds you can't pronounce, and in Greek they can't pronounce things like income tax, and. And I've gone trilingual, so I speak to her in Greek. Oh, that sounds impressive, very impressive. And then I speak to her in Japanese for about 20 minutes, solid Japanese. I don't speak Japanese, but who would know? And all the mums are there, and obviously you go to these like coffee rooms, and they can breastfeed, obviously, but I can't do that. But I never know what to do. Do I sort of like move away to sort of show some dignity? I don't know how to show my support. Like once I got both of my bollocks out, and they're still pressing charges. And all the mums are there. They all try and outdo each other. Oh yes, my Felicia. She's only 6, and she makes this adorable hummus all by herself. Then there's like another man who goes, here, my Jaden, he's 5, and he vapes. And they all have these names as well. I know you're called Jordan, but like Jordan, Jaden, Taylor, Tyler. One mum, Brandon, and Random. Named after his dad. And do you know who I blame? Do you know who I blame for these weird names that children have? It's Hollywood celebrities and pop stars, because they do that. Like the Beckhams, people like that, they give their children weird names. Then other people started doing that. The first one I remember was Kanye West. Do you know what Kanye West called his first daughter? North. So she became Northwest. Named his child after a sat-nav instruction when a road does not exist. If your surname is West, there aren't many names to avoid. There's just 3. North, South, or Fred. It's not difficult. This is a fun thing. It's a fun gig. You never know what you're going to get when you go to a gig. It's a lot of fun. You get asked to do a lot of gigs for charity. That's what you get asked for. And people say, oh, can you do a gig for free? It's for charity. No, that doesn't happen. No one goes up to, like a motorsport engineer and says, can you fix our car? It's for Oxfam. No one goes up to a gynecologist and says, can you check out this bad boy? It's for children in need. Never. And you have to pick and choose what charities. I was asked to do a gig for people who suffered from gambling addictions, of all things. I think it's up to them. They choose to gamble. I don't know. I did the gig in the end. We raised loads of money. Not with the comedy. They had a raffle. But I did 3 years ago, I did an event called Gloucester Pride, which obviously, as you guys will know, was Gay Pride. When I got the call to do the gig, they didn't say it was Gay Pride, they just said Gloucester Pride. So I was confused, because I didn't put the connection together. And I'm thinking, well, I'm kind of from Gloucester, there's not a lot to be proud of. I was confused. I Googled what that might be, Googled the word pride. It came up that it can mean a group of lions, it can mean a pack of lions, a pride of lions. So I'm thinking, well, there's no lions in Gloucester, there's no zoo in Gloucester. So I said on the phone, I said, I actually didn't realise that there were any in Gloucester. I said, yeah, that's why we're doing an awareness gig. To let people know. I said, oh, that sounds interesting, maybe you should bring some to the event so we can stroke. Or... and yeah, everyone's going to be full of them. I said, oh, well, that sounds dangerous now. Put them on a leash or on a cage or something. You know, the quick thing I mentioned before I got off stage, I used to live in a shared house. One of the guys I lived with, he's been married twice, and he came out as gay at 45 years old. It's quite an old time to do that. And he actually told us, our group of friends, before he told his parents, it was actually very, very touching, but he told us on our university WhatsApp group. Like, I don't know what emoji you respond with that. Thumbs up cowboy hat. Look, I went with double fist. But does anyone remember my name? Okay, well, so Demetrius Deitch, that's right. Demetrius Deitch is how it's pronounced. It's a Greek name, which is actually short for Colin. I get introduced everything on stage, like once dysentery itch. Another time, dermatitis bitch. So this has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed chatting with you guys. I think, you know, in a time of when there's a lot of sort of division in society, sometimes you just put a group of people in a room together, have a good laugh, and it makes things better. Thank you very much.
Demetrius Deitch, ladies and gentlemen. Gents of Cheltenham, that is it for this month. That is all we have got for you. And before we disappear off into the night with our Halloween costumes and all the fucked up shit that's going on back there are a few people that we need to thank before we do. Please give it up for all the staff at Smokey Joe's who have looked after us tonight. Let's have a massive round of applause for Joanna and the comedy Huddle. Give yourselves a round of applause for supporting live comedy. You saw this evening, we have Nick Hill, Annabelle Edmonds, Lynn Smith, Rob Orty, I've been Mark Rowe, and one more time for your headliner, Mr. Demetrius Deitch. See you next month, good night.
Smokey, weź się drzewka.
A good place to think about Caroline, so that would be so good.
Check it out.
Halloween party.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We should put this in the car.
Very much.
Can't really take it to butter sauce, so that's why I'm Finish it.
Teraz tu proszę.
To były sługi, przynieście je.
Odsuń się pani.
Przez ciebie do klubu teraz nie wejdziemy.
A potem!
If you want, or we can deliver tomorrow.
No, you couldn't cut. There you go.
We know.
If anything, too eager to take
Here's what it is.
Harry is probably a little bit like oh yeah, you went south on Were you snowboard there, Chris? I'll snowboard there. No, Oh right. Yeah. It's one outside Kings, isn't it? One outside my post office, so yeah, give it 1 minute. Yeah, they are good fun. Underwings, yeah. But I don't like it on busy junctions and roundabouts on the road. That was nice. Yeah. But for some reason it detected me and slowed it down, so I couldn't accelerate. I had to push. And everyone saying, press a button. Oh, it's not doing